Hello, Reds fans. Welcome to the YNWA Transfer News Channel. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for your daily latest news.
Liverpool's Alexander Isak hopes could boil down to decision into his own hands claim. Liverpool have been linked with a move for Newcastle United striker Alexander Isak this summer, but they have been warned he will need to take matters into his own hands if a move is to materialize. Liverpool may have to wait for Alexander Isak to take matters into his own hands if they have any chance of signing the Newcastle United forward this summer. That is according to ex-Newcastle star Jeremy, who insists that the Swedish striker has no need to leave St James Park to advance his career. The Reds are one of the Premier League sides interested in tempting Isak away from the Carabao Cup holders. Arsenal are also keen, having had the goalscorer on their radar for some time now as they scour the market for a proper number 9. Meanwhile, Liverpool are looking for an upgrade to Darwin Nunez, who is currently up for sale in the transfer market. However, Newcastle aren't in any rush to flog their star striker and would only even consider a deal if the offering price surpassed the £150 million mark, according to The Telegraph. Up until now, there's been no real evidence that Isak, who has 3 more years remaining on his current contract, is actively looking for an exit from Newcastle. Jeremy stated that if Liverpool or Arsenal do want to tempt the 25-year-old away, then they would need to rely on Isak pushing for a move. During a chat with Boyle Sports, who offer the latest Club World Cup odds, the ex-Magpies midfielder said, "First of all, Newcastle need to keep their best players at all costs. I'm not sure Newcastle would sell Isak for any fee, but it would become an issue if the player took the decision into his own hands." The ex-Chelsea star also suggested that Newcastle have reached the same level as Liverpool and Arsenal thanks to their Carabao Cup triumph in March and Champions League qualification that was confirmed at the end of the season. Jeremy said he had a great season and is at one of the biggest teams in the world when it comes to financial backing. The environment is all there, and I don't think he would gain anything by moving to Liverpool or Arsenal. I think Newcastle are at the same level. Newcastle are now contenders to win the Premier League and the Champions League. When they got new owners, I said it would take them 3 or 4 years and a trophy to put them in that position, and now they are there. They are ready to compete because they have been built under Eddie Howe, they have the right finances, and they are an attractive proposition for new players. New signings will have no doubt about joining the club this summer, and I wouldn't be surprised if they have an incredible season. Liverpool have been proactive this summer, acquiring Bayer Leverkusen duo Florian Wirtz and Jeremy Frimpong. The former's transfer, potentially reaching £116 million, has already set a new British record for the summer. Liverpool sent clear Cody Gakpo transfer message amid Bayern Munich interest. Always seemed. Liverpool has been advised to keep Cody Gakpo amid interest from Bayern Munich, with links surrounding Luis Diaz, Federico Chiesa, and Diogo Jota as well this summer. Former Liverpool midfielder Didi Hamann says Cody Gakpo should be a priority for Arne Slot to keep this summer, with speculation about interest from Bayern Munich continuing. Liverpool is in the middle of a big summer, having already confirmed the signings of Florian Wirtz, Jeremy Frimpong, and Armin Pexi. Milos Kerkez and potentially a number 9 and a centre-back could be next. But there will be plenty of sales too, with the likes of Harvey Elliott and Darwin Nunez among those who could move on. Talks are ongoing for Jarell Quansah to join Bayer Leverkusen, while Tyler Morton is sending a timely reminder to potential suitors while impressing for England at the U21 European Championship. Hammond, though, believes that while there's going to be plenty of churn across the Reds roster, Gakpo should not be sold. There has also been interest in the likes of Luis Diaz and Federico Chiesa. Liverpool has still relied a lot on Mohamed Salah, Hammond told instant withdrawal betting sites. It always seemed to be Salah stepping up, but there were times when Luis Diaz and Cody Gakpo scored important goals. Bayern Munich are linked to Gakpo and Barcelona to Diaz. I think they both play a part, but consistency has been an issue. I think Gakpo is the one to keep out of himself, Diaz and Diogo Jota. But Diaz is a hard-working team player that would be hard to replace. If Liverpool was to lose either Gakpo, Jota, or Diaz, a replacement would need to be found. Should Chiesa move on, with several Serie A clubs considering an approach, then the Reds could do without signing someone else in his position given how little the Italian played in his debut campaign at Anfield. Elsewhere, a defender and a striker could be on the agenda. In midfield, though it depends largely on where Wirtz will be deployed and how he is viewed, Liverpool might be sorted. Do Liverpool have the best midfield in the Premier League? Yeah, absolutely, Hammond continued. I think it has been Liverpool's Achilles heel since Fabinho left in the middle of the park, but last season the midfield was a huge reason why they won the league. Out of the three, I think Ryan Gravenberch was the standout player. Why change it? Maybe to freshen things up, Wataru Endo is still there as a backup. I'd say, why change it? They complement each other and work well together. That's something that Arne Slot doesn't need to touch. Liverpool.com says, keeping both Gakpo and Diaz seems like the most likely option given how much the Reds have to do this summer. Signing too many players at once would not be sensible as they all need to gel together quickly. Trent Alexander-Arnold's comments about Mo Salah speak volumes about him. It took a while for English football to catch on when it came to Mohamed Salah's star qualities, but Trent Alexander-Arnold knew early on Liverpool were onto something special. We are now 8 years into Mohamed Salah's Anfield career, and there isn't a football fan in Europe who isn't aware of his place in the Liverpool pecking order. Although it took time for some to truly appreciate his talent, Trent Alexander-Arnold knew early on the Reds had signed someone different. After a failed spell at Chelsea, Salah went out on loan to Fiorentina and Roma, permanently joining the latter in 2016. One more year would pass before he was back on English shores with Liverpool, and the then club record fee of £43 million looked like a snip within months. Despite the struggles he endured at Stamford Bridge, it took no time at all for his Liverpool teammates to cotton onto what they had signed. Academy graduate Alexander-Arnold, who recently left Anfield to sign for Real Madrid, gave his account of the Egyptian's tireless mindset. The first day of pre-season was just a running session, he told Copa 90 back in May 2018 when asked what Salah is like off the pitch. Not a race, just to see how far you can run really. It gets harder each lap you do, so you end up doing quite a bit of running and you drop out when you can't go any further. So everyone has dropped out and it's just me and him left, and he didn't stop. Nobody was running against him anymore, and it was just that hunger to win and to just carry on. That's when I saw it. He just wouldn't stop, it just seemed his limit was above everyone else's. Fast forward 7 years, and it's fair to say that remains the case among Arne Slot's current squad. Now 33, Salah was instrumental in guiding Liverpool back to the Premier League title in his manager's first season in English football. And he did so while scoring 29 goals in the league, to lift his 4th Golden Boot in England's top flight. Not only that, but the 34 goals he scored in all competitions was the second highest tally of his career, trailing only the 44 he scored during his maiden campaign on Merseyside. He also added 23 assists in all competitions to bring his tally up to 57 direct goal contributions in 52 appearances. And having played in every single league fixture this term, there appears to be plenty of life in him yet. Fans were elated to see the winger pen a new 2-year contract with the club in April, putting to bed any rumors of an exit this summer. Salah was being closely linked with clubs in Saudi Arabia, but the new deal assures he'll be committed to Slot's project until at least 2027. The same can't be said for Alexander-Arnold after he departed in a controversial free transfer to Madrid. The fullback could potentially make his real debut on Wednesday when they face Saudi side Al Hilal, one of the clubs linked with signing Salah at the FIFA Club World Cup. €50 million Liverpool striker deal moves closer. Liverpool have got major plans to upgrade their attack in this current transfer window. Florian Wirtz is on board as the most expensive signing in British football history, £100 million rising to £116 million, but the Reds won't stop there. Sporting director Richard Hughes has also got his eye on a new centre-forward, with neither Darwin Nunez nor Diogo Jota managing to convince Arne Slot last season. Alexander Isak and Victor Osimhen are two of the biggest names in the frame. Isak, 25, could be made available by Newcastle as they seek funds to overhaul their squad, while Osimhen is destined to leave Napoli this summer with only 1 year left on his deal. The issue for the Reds is they are governed by FSG, who tend to operate on a one-in, one-out basis. The ownership group is not simply going to lavish the squad with signings, and so room in the budget will need to be made through sales. Napoli close in on Nunez deal. Jota, out of contract in 2027, has been linked with Newcastle as well as teams in Saudi Arabia. But one forward who looks absolutely nailed on to leave right now is Darwin Nunez. The 25-year-old endured a poor campaign on a personal level, scoring only 5 Premier League goals and has been earmarked for the exit. He has already declined a move to Saudi Arabian side Al Hilal, believing his future lies in Europe. And Nunez could be about to get his wish as Liverpool and Napoli draw closer to a transfer deal for the No. 9. According to Alfredo Padella, the renowned transfer journalist, Napoli have put €42 million to €43 million on the table for Nunez, edging closer to an acceptable deal for the Reds. Liverpool want just €50 million for Nunez. Having previously valued Nunez around the €75 million mark, it now looks likely that the club would settle for around €50 million plus bonuses. Liverpool would be satisfied with even 50 plus bonuses. Napoli has already risen to 42 to 43 and intends to insist on playing early in order to avoid any possible insertions by the competition, a report from Padella reads. Napoli are seeking to tie this one up quickly for Nunez, whose Liverpool contract expires in 2028. The player will get a fresh start following a difficult stint in English football, and Napoli coach Antonio Conte will be hopeful of getting the frontman back to his best. Liverpool can then move on with transfer plans for Osimhen in a deal that is likely to be independent of the move for Nunez, or else look again at Isak.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel. See you next time.